Hello everyone, I'm Casper Kumet and welcome back to Perfect Love. You guys requested it, so today we're doing another route. Now, I don't know if we should read everything all over again, so... we'll just skip ahead to the parts that where we start to get to make choices. If you don't remember, we're crazy and we want someone to fall crazy in love with us. So we're gonna take this poor nice boy that we found on the street and make him go psycho. From now on, I am your girlfriend. Very insecure looking guy. Please treat me well. My girlfriend. He smiles nervously and taps his feet happily. I've never had someone like that. So I'm not sure what to expect. What kinds of things should I do with my girlfriend? How about we come up with a nickname for each other? Nickname? Well, what do you think would be a good nickname? Let's see. How about my pet? Yeah, we'll just keep it for now. I don't know if this matters at all. My pet. Pet? That nickname is... Why, do you not like it? I think it's rather cute. Or do you think I chose wrong? You see him fidgeting with his fingers. No, pet is fine. Despite any possible complaints, you could see that he enjoyed being gifted a nickname. Alright, let's move to the next choice. Oh yeah, so we went to the party last time. Let's go to the batting cages. I'm in the mood to swing a bat. I'm not really the aggressive or athletic type. That's no problem. You have some anger issues to release, or you have some anger to release, don't you? We'll have some fun. Then, shall we? Holding out your hand, Milo takes it and we walk together towards the batting ring. Now this should all be new stuff. Mac! My personal room, please. We have a personal room? Damn, we must come here a lot. Pulling Milo, we head to an empty room filled with bats and... This place is terrifying. A dummy. I thought we were going to swing a bat. Oh, we are. Just perhaps not in the way you're thinking. You pick up the bat and... It cracks as the dummy flies backward and bounces back. Milo flinches at the loud sound. Here you go, your turn. He seems reluctant to take it. I don't think I can. I'm against violence. My pet, it's not against a real person, only a dummy. You place the bat into his hand. There's nothing wrong with letting out your anger like this. You lean in closer to him. Aren't you angry at those bullies, how they always use you? How they laugh behind your back even though you've done nothing wrong? You didn't deserve it, you never did. All you wanted was a peaceful life. That's how I felt, is it not the same for you? Just let out your rage. He clenches his fist around the bat, you grin as he steps towards the dummy. Taking a step back, he clubs the dummy hard. And then again, and again. Why? Why do you always kick me? What have I done wrong? You think you know everything. Just die. Already. Almost in tears, Milo strikes the dummy over and over again. Then rage in his eyes is so... The rage in his eyes is so tantalizing. You're thrilled beyond belief. Finally, after bludgeoning the dummy, he steps back, having to catch his breath. One more strike. The bat shatters. He screams out, dropping the remains of the bat and clutching his hand. This is like hell. Where are we? This is a terrifying place. Milo, are you alright? Sorry, I went overboard. What are you sorry about? It's the most alive that I've seen you. From your bag, you pull out some bandages. Give me your hand. He holds out his hand, blood-stained as you tend to the wound. I didn't think I had so much rage inside me. It was scary, but it felt good. He looks up at me, grinning shyly. Yeah, it felt really good. He looks down as if scared. I didn't scare you, did I? If I did, I promise I won't. My pet, there's no way I could be scared of you that easily. If anything, it's made me happy you're finally letting your anger out. This world can be so cruel. You wrap his hands round and round. I wonder if there will come a day where you or I will get attacked. Why would you think that? It's only natural. This world is filled with violence. One day, you might have to strike back. But solving violence with violence, it's wrong, right? Not always. Don't think of it as violence, think of it as self-defense. Protection against others, protecting the people you love. You trust me, right? Yeah. Then, please protect me if the situation arises. I will, I promise. And so the bats continued swinging. From then on, the batting area became our place together. For dates, to let off steam, all sorts of things. And slowly, you taught him. Step back a bit when you hit. It's not good to be too close. It's not fair for someone as kind and as strong as you to be hurt like this. Striking someone in the knees is a good way to disable someone. My pet, you deserve the world, but they don't deserve you. The chin and the nose as well. Everyone feels like they are against us. I can only trust you. And I'm the only one you can trust. The ways to hit, the way to act. It was fun at first, but it's important to keep each date entertaining. Destroying cars at the abandoned lot. Breaking glass jars, plates, and other pieces in a ramshackled house. Self-defense classes to fight, protect, hurt. Whatever it would take to train him, whatever it would take to watch him grow stronger. It's daring him to only cling to you, to save only you. Nobody else in the world. Just as it should be. For a while it seemed that the days were peaceful. Milo grew more confident as a person, more brash in some senses. His attire changed as well, more rough and ruthless. Yet despite this, his personality was still meek, timid. It seemed more work still needed to be done. The bullies slowly strayed away from him, not sure how to make of this development. He looks like an angry little dog. And as they did, he stayed close to you, clinging. He's like a chihuahua. No one came near him. As it was meant to be. Because to him, you are his savior. And yet, it wasn't enough. My, you've gotten stronger, my pet. Those bullies have to think twice before coming near you. You've really changed, haven't you, Milo? He looks like he's playing dress up. Is it that bad? I mean, I like it a lot better now. I think it's an improvement. Are you happy that you've been remade this way? I feel like I'm a new person since I met you. It's a good feeling. I've got this new baseball bat to celebrate. That's great. You briefly hear something being thrown before the wind is knocked out of you. What? You can barely push yourself up as you sputter blood and saliva on the ground. Who's insane enough to hit me? You feel yourself being pulled out by the hair as you see Milo frozen in fear. Surrounding him are a bunch of gang members, holding pipes, bats, and other weapons. Damn. Well. Looks like Ryan was right this time. Oh, Ryan was the kid that was beating Milo up before. That's a lot of... You're very muscular. Scars traced on her face, and she looks you in the eyes. That brat really paid us big money to smack you around, huh? Ryan? The one who's been bullying me all this time? Oh, is that what this is about? He must have been butthurt that you're no longer a punching bag for him, huh? Nice monobrow. I guess that's why we gotta take it out on this girl, huh? What? He's trembling a bit and his eyes are darting around anxiously. Don't hurt her. It's me you want, right? My pet. Don't hurt my pet. Your vision blurred and his voice is echoing in your ears. And yet, you smile. Remember what I had said? This world is filled with violence. Go for the kneecaps! Break the Nico kneecaps! You promised me, right? Are you really going back on that? No, looks like your pet has some spunk. She reminds me of like, Jasper from Steven Universe. The next sound was a broken scream as a bat cracked into her ribcage. From then, there was nothing but a massacre. The cracks of bones as the bat shattered them, the screams of begging as he took another victim. Ooh! The sound splattered blood on the pavement below. Milo kept bashing them over and over and over again. They tried to restrain him, keep him down, hit him, but he never flinched. The only thing he could think of was how to protect you. And soon, the gang member grabbing you was the last one standing. The scared gang member flinched slightly, not expecting the meek man would put up such a fight. You smiled as you watched him quiver a bit. As Milo walked closer to her, hobbling a bit from side to side, dragging his now red bat across the floor, his eyes focused only on her. She dropped you and ran, and you looked up at Milo covered in red. His eyes weren't one of a human anymore. Milo. Damn. Milo, my pet. Come on, let's go. You dragged him away from the scene as best you could. You could feel him shaking a bit. Finally, he spoke. Sorry, I'm sorry. You protected me, my pet. Why are you apologizing? It's Ryan's fault anyways. Didn't you hear what she said? That Ryan was the one who tried to attack me? All because I tried to help you? Ryan. You're right. Oh, it's his fault. From then on, the attacks became more frequent. Whenever you were outside, they could only jump you from behind, or they would jump you from behind. Milo would always protect you as best as he could. I thought we were a bush. That's just her hair. He became paranoid, clinging onto you more desperately to protect you. Unsurprisingly, it seemed that Ryan had disappeared at the moment. As if he knew that Milo would come after him. What a coward. He smirked. It was fitting of him. It seems that there's no one we can trust. The fact that anyone can attack me at any moment. We can only trust each other. Of course, I won't let them hurt you. I won't let anyone hurt you. He's like turning into a tiger. Once again, you were surrounded by bodies of gang members sent to harass you. Though you would never let him kill them, you could always tell that Milo could barely hold back. It's unfortunate that the police couldn't help us. In the end, the only one I could trust is you. I will protect you until the end. I know you will, my pet. He smiles as if he was looking at the only thing that mattered. The barrage of attackers seems to have lessened. I think Ryan is starting to realize that brute force isn't going to cut it. But he'll have to come out eventually. In our class, he and I are assigned a group project together. I'm gonna kill that bastard after what he's done to you. You walk to him, stroking his cheek and calming him down. There, my pet. In due time. What the fuck is that supposed to say? You're my everything, so I can't. I can't lose you. He smiles silently as you feel his eyes gaze upon you. It's working. You pat around your pocket suddenly. It seems you've dropped it. Crouching down, you started to rummage around under the bodies of the fallen. What are you doing? What if they wake up and grab you? Then you'll be there to beat them down again, right? There it is. You pull out a bundle of bandages from under the bodies. It looked like you're injured, so I'll patch you up again. You could have just bought them from the store. You could say I'm a bit sentimental. These ones are special. It's the same roll that I first patched you up with. What? You kept that? He seems flustered as you bandage his arms once again. Of course, it was the first date we had. After finishing, you pull out his arm. Walk me home, alright? And so, he walked you back to your dorm, safe and sound. God, that kid was rough. I thought we were going against a college student. Is everyone alright? Did you get the cash? Yeah, that girl slipped it under when she picked up the bandages. So we paid off these people too. Was Ryan even involved this time? Because last time we were kind of controlling Ryan, but are we just like paying off gang members now, separately from him? Is he not even like a part of this? That girl is a real freak. Who hires people to attack them? Must have something to do with that Ryan kid. You think it's some sort of revenge scheme? I don't know. Seemed more than that. That girl. I feel bad for that Milo kid. He has no idea what's in store for him. Even the gang members are sympathetic for him. For a while it seemed as if everything had died down. The attacks basically became non-existent. Thought we couldn't let our guard down. Milo was especially restless, glaring at anyone who even so happened to glance at you. He watched over you like a guard dog, stayed by you as much as he could. No one would come near us like that. It was comforting, in a way. And so, days went on as normal. Schoolwork, fun activities, some dates. Well, at least until one of those big projects for your class. It seems Ryan has appeared again, and he's my partner for the big project. Milo slams his fist onto the wall next to him, denting it. The people around snap quiet in fear before slowly resuming their talk. Ah, don't get too excited, my pet. I should find a way to rip out his tongue from his mouth. I'm sure I could find a way to bash his head in without anyone noticing. Oh, that would be quite the treat to watch. If he cries out, it's even more fun. He smiles widely, cracking his knuckles. But not yet. As much as I'd love to destroy him in that way, my pet, I would like to actually pass the class, and this project is a huge part of my grade. So let's hold off on that for now, alright? Milo growls a bit, but remains silent afterwards. What was that? Fine, but the second you guys are done... He tightens his bandages. So as long as you don't draw any attention, you can do as you please. We're supposed to be meeting up in Cafe 15 to talk about what we're going to do. And I'd like you to come with, just in case. Well, who knows if he'll pull something. Milo scowls a bit, clearly wanting to punch a hole in his face. As if I would let you go alone. You're mine. And I won't let anyone touch you. The response sends shivers down your spine. You've trained them a little too well. As we walked in, we see Ryan sitting at one of the booths. His face twists from contempt to annoyance when he sees that Milo has entered with you. Strange. He's not in our group, is he? Milo and I are a package deal. Or are you just jealous that you suddenly become the third wheel? Ryan looks as if he wants to lunge at you, but Milo leans forward. He wraps his arms around you as if to warn him. Touch a single hair on her head and I'll snap your neck. Ryan hesitates and leans back down. Whatever, let's just hurry up and get this group project finished. For the next couple of hours, you and Ryan planned out your project. The two of you ordered some food and drinks, seemingly chatting nonchalantly about what to do. But underneath it all, it felt like you were pointing knives at each other's throats. Well, living under a threat of violence was something to be angry about. Milo would watch silently as we talked to each other, his arms crossed, leaning back, glaring at Ryan. Like he would slam his head into the table at any moment. Scribbling down Ryan's ramblings, your spoon slipped and fell onto the ground. I got it. Milo leans down into the table to grab it, not before bumping his head against it a bit. He gently places the spoon back into your hand before glaring at Ryan. What are you looking at? Ugh, this lovey-dovey crap makes me want to barf. His hand taps on the table a bit before looking at his phone. His eyes dart around for a second before standing. Well, I got a jet. See you losers later. Grabbing his backpack, he leaves the two of us alone. Finally. He chugged down a glass of water after he leaves and slams it on the table. Somehow it tastes bitter, like your disgust for him. He didn't even pay his portion of the bill, that lowlife. Don't worry, I'll make him pay. Though I might have to break some bones along the way. Forget it then. I need him alive so he doesn't make me do all the work. That's disappointing. Sighing, you fork over the money and you and Milo head back. Let's walk back to the dorms. I have to get some stuff before the next class. That Milo nods and holds you as you walk. But as you walk, something doesn't feel right. You start to falter, your legs falling weak and... My pet? Everything goes dark. You wake up staring at the ceiling of your dorm, laying on the bed. I feel like I remember this happening last time. Like, someone drugged us when we went, like, when we were working on that project, but I don't... I thought, like, Ryan or Milo did it last time, but it feels like this time, since Milo went down to get the spoon, I think we did it to ourselves this time? I can't remember if we did it to ourselves last time too, though. I don't know. Milo seems to have been by your side, holding and stroking your hand gently. Please, please, my pet. You can feel his warm hands shaking as you place your other hand on him. His eyes snapped open, and he happily holds your hand to his face. Thank God, thank God. Despite how gruff he acts normally, he is always so soft for you. Ah, my pet, what happened? You passed out suddenly after we left the cafe. Ah, did I now? You recall Ryan tapping his fingers against the table. His eyes were darting at the glass. Oh, I see what happened. That snake really has it out for me, huh? What did he do? He clutches onto your hand tighter, almost crushing it before loosening. Sorry, Don't worry, he'll be able to use that anger soon. It seems that Ryan must have drugged me. Ah, must have been that water. Dropping my spoon was the perfect opportunity for him to do so. How oddly clever for him. First he sends gang members after us, and now he drugs you too? He punches the bed, and you can feel it creak in agony. Disgusting. He really doesn't know how to leave it alone, huh? Well, he should be given a taste of his own medicine. You tap your forehead as you think, ah, what would make Ryan suffer more? Drugging him back would be an ample payback. You do have access to the chemistry lab. Watching Ryan shudder as his body collapses on himself as he did to you would be entertaining. Or maybe he might have other secrets he's hiding. You might see it coming if we attempt to drug him back. Stalking him would be less obvious, and it would send him a proper warning as not to mess with you. Choices, choices. Milo looks at you eagerly as you make your decision. Best way to get payback. What did we do last time? I can't remember. Because I think we fell into the same scenario. I don't remember. Let's try to drug him. I mean, either way, I feel like we're probably gonna end up at a different path because, this time Milo's not socially manipulative, so let's try to drug him, I guess? Or did we do that? I don't know. Well, it's fine. Again, we'll probably end up somewhere different anyways. Wouldn't it be fun to give him a taste of his own medicine? Drugging him. I'd rather just break his legs. Oh, my pet, that does sound like fun. But sometimes it's good to be a little bit more smart about it. Just think of it as a study date. It'll be fun learning how to drug people. Study date. You can feel his hand warming up as he considers the date. Well then, shall we have fun on our date? Let's get going then. Despite feeling the effects, you refuse to show weakness and stand up. You think of Ryan's face in agony and smile as Milo follows you out of the dorm. You walk with Milo to a seemingly quiet part of the campus. Unlocking an abandoned lab, Milo trails in behind you. My pet is very clever. I didn't even know you had access to this lab. One of the professors here is very kind. They saw my interest in chemistry and let me use the lab. As if that were true, you had swiped it off of another student while they weren't looking and made a copy. He hugged into you suddenly, startlingly you. My girlfriend, you really are amazing. Even after being attacked day after day, you're so strong. It's only because of you, my pet, that I was able to stay strong. Waltzing into the lab, the beakers and other glass tubes stood watching us. Well, then let's get started. You think back at what it felt like when you were drugged. Dizziness, a bit of drowsiness. The way he did it so fast, and the fact that you couldn't see it in the water. Well, looks like that bastard learned from before and actually made the proper dosage of GHB. So this is what he drugged you with? He picks up a chair and throws it at the ground, bouncing and marking the wall. I won't let him get away with this! You wanted to stop him, but you suddenly felt dizzy and held on to him. My pet, are you okay? It seems the drugs still have a bit of a side effect to them. You held yourself steady as Milo gently helped you stand. You should rest. No, I have to stop Ryan from doing this again. Here, take this first. You hand him some safety glasses, which he fumbles with awkwardly. You look stupid. I feel stupid. Really? I think you look quite nice. You wink at him, causing him to get flustered. Let's get started. GHB is probably the most common one. We have the ingredients already. Luckily, you had experience with it before and knew what to do. With the materials here, it seemed that would be rather easy to make. I've always wanted to make chloroform as well. Though thought it might not be that good in this situation. Can't we just kidnap him with it, knock him out like BAM? Sure, if we were in a movie. In reality, it would probably just kill him. And that's a problem why? You're such a jester, Milo. Sadly, I still need him for the project. You have some annoyance at your answer, but plays it cool. Maybe for fun, I'll show you how to make it in a bit. You pull out a silicone packet that you had taken from the seaweed you had eaten earlier. I'll have to check if it's enough, but ketamine is fun to make as well. And as for this, you pull out another packet from your pocket. Seems like it's pretty easy to get refinol if you can pretend you need it for anxiety. My pet is so smart, I didn't even know you had such an interest. Well, I've always been curious about these kinds of things. But unfortunately, Ryan did use them against me. Milo growls a bit as you mention them. But now I'll be able to use this knowledge against him. You reap what you sow, after all. You stretch out, prepared to teach Milo the ropes. Shall we? For a couple of days, you and Milo would sneak inside the labs. You had to be careful to clean up afterwards, but considering how secluded this lab was, nobody ever came in. Milo, as usual, was a fast learner. He picked up everything naturally. And at the same time, you and Ryan finished your project together. You had convinced Ryan to have a drink once the both of you had finished. A perfect opportunity. How surprising. I guess since we're almost done, he wanted to celebrate early. I'll be a bit more careful this time, and... You hold out some white powder to show Milo. Get a bit of vengeance too, then, Well, Milo, are you coming with? I'll need backup in case something goes wrong while we're talking. He puts his fists together as if he's ready to punch someone. Of course, I'll always be by your side, my pet. And if anything happens, I won't hesitate to kill him. His voice was sharp and dangerous, as if you were sliding your finger against the blade of a knife. You didn't think you could say anything to convince him to hold back. Well... Let's hope it doesn't come to that then. Though you couldn't lie. You were curious to see what he would have done if you hadn't stopped him. We arrived at the bar that Ryan had invited us. Oops, where am I? Hey, it's... His fake smile dropped as he saw that Milo had joined you. You too. You looked at him condescendingly. Sorry, did you not think I would bring him? I thought it would just be us two, you know? Because we actually worked on the project? Well, sorry about that. He smiled in a fake manner and glares at Milo. And Milo glares back. Ryan looks away as if annoyed. Ryan droops down closer to you and whispers, Casper, don't you think this is too much? I mean, all of this for him? I'm not sure what, I'm not sure I like what you're trying to say, Ryan. Ryan feels Milo start staring at him from behind. Never mind. When have you ever listened to me anyways? We'll end up badly, you know. Thanks for the warning. But I know what I'm doing. He turns to the bartender and calls for our drinks. How nostalgic. It seems you still remember my favorite. Well, yeah, I'm not a monster. The barkeep taps our drinks onto the counter and we cheer to finishing our project. To us, and another year of our professors torturing us. He puts the glass to his lips. You grab the edge of the glass before you can drink. Hey, what gives? I just wanted to add a bit of flavor. You pull out a small bag and dump it into his drink, not breaking eye contact. What the hell? Did you just drug my drink in front of me? That's a bold move. Go ahead, drink it. Hell no, you must be crazy to think I'd drink that. There's no way. Barkeep, That's cute. You make it sound like you have a choice. You grab his hand tightly and stare into his eyes. Drink it. What? I know what you did, Ryan. Did you think that I'm that naive? Come on, it's only fair. You're crazy. Am I, Ryan? Weren't you the one who did it first? He shrinks away from you and tries to leave, but Milo stops him. And where do you think you're going? Ryan looks back at you and then at him. I don't know, Ryan. You could leave now, but would you really want to? You push the drink in front of him. To our project. May we have another good semester. Shaking, he picks the drink up and drinks it. His eyes darting, he tries to run off, but Milo stands in his way. Where do you think you're going? Out of the way. Milo lunges for him, but Ryan is able to dodge. He runs at you, shoving you onto the floor with a thud. Eyes wide, Milo runs to you as Ryan gets away. My pet! He holds onto you carefully and cradles you, before glaring in the direction that Ryan ran off to. I'm gonna... He tries to lunge for him, but you grab onto his arm. Bad boy. He hesitates. But, don't worry, he's learned his lesson. It'd be suspicious if we get rid of him now. And anyways, I doubt he'll ever mess with you again. Come now, Milo, let me buy you a drink. You did such a good job. Dragging his attention away from Ryan, you meet Milo's gaze. You just wanted him to look at you. And only you. I like the like growling noises, the sound effects. It's like, okay. There's a tiger in here or something. And so college life went on as normal. Whenever you saw Ryan, he would hurriedly walk in towards the opposite direction. And Milo started taking up cooking, strangely enough. He always said he would be a good house husband. He would proudly give you his food and let you taste test it. I want to be able to cook for you when we get married, he'd say, blushing. Every dish he made was more delicious than the last, but you started to realize... Huh, where are you going? Don't you remember you have classes today? Huh? Lunch? What are you talking about? It's almost dinner. Are you doing okay? Let me take you back to your dorm. You've been feeling a bit off lately. That your memory was deteriorating. Something he must have done. He was using your lessons well, wasn't he? And while Milo was concerned over you, you could feel him smiling at the results. A protective dog looking after its master. And you couldn't be happier. And so for a while, nothing else out of the blue went on. It was always just you and Milo. Weirdly enough, Milo seems to cook for you less and less. The strange fog that you had gotten before was slowly lifting, and it was infuriating you. More affectionate he was, hugging and clinging you. As if he was resisting it, as if he was stopping himself. How sweet, how cute, how lovely, how kind. How weak, how pathetic, how insufferable, how disgusting. So close to creating the perfect love, and yet he was backing out? Seemed to you, despite how much he had changed, the old meek Milo was still holding himself back. How sad. It seems you haven't pushed him enough. You had to break him. Well, then there's only one thing to do. Push him to the brink. Just one final push. He was walking with you across the campus as usual, looking around, fidgeting a bit. Is there something on your mind, Milo? Milo stops for a moment and hesitates. You really changed me for the better. Before I was such a weakling, pushed around constantly. But now... No one will dare do such a thing. He holds your hand tenderly. And now, I'm happier than ever. It's all thanks to you. He leans his hand against your shoulder. Or his head against your shoulder. Blah. I want to make you mine. We're going to be together forever, right? He breathed out slowly as you heard his words. Ah, poor simple Milo. His fate was sealed for good. Just one more push. I wish that were true, Milo, that we could be together until our graves. But let's be honest here, my pet. Do you really think that will happen? Do you really think I would never break up with you? Milo. No! I won't let you. You're mine. My one and only girlfriend. After all those times I protected you, after all I've done, you're just going to throw me away? Like trash? Like junk? You and I promised we would be together. If it's not with you, I would rather kill you myself. I knew it. I should have put a higher dosage. Wouldn't you just rely on me, only me then? So I could always take care of you? So it would be your entire world. Milo. There's nothing left for me. I only exist for you. Nobody else, only you. Without you, what's the point of living? Why should I even exist? Milo! Your own snap caused Milo to flinch. It was the first time you had ever raised your voice at him. I don't want to leave you. I want to be with you until death do us part. But time is not kind to us. We could drift apart or fight. No, we won't. Then what about those around us? Do you think that they won't try to tear us apart? You lean closer to him next to his ear. My pet, it's the world around us that wants to take us apart. They're always planning, scheming, watching us fall apart. Don't you see? There's no way to escape it. You lean back, closing your eyes as if contemplating. Well, maybe there is a way. Milo's eyes light up. He leaned closer to you. Well, what is it? Whatever it is. I refuse to let them take us. You cocked your head slightly. The final push. The only way for us to stay together forever is... Oh. How did I play this last time? I think I said to get rid of them, and then he, like, poisoned the water or whatever in the city. So let's say, like, protect me. I feel like it fits this time, because he's already, like, a little guard dog. You're gonna protect me, Milo. No matter what, the world will always find a way to take us apart. It's cruel, isn't it? Then the solution is simple. Just make sure I can't be taken away. Make it so I'm yours. And just like that, Milo's eyes had changed. It felt as if you would simply freeze in place looking at him. Put that tongue away. As if he would do anything to make you his. I think you know what I'm talking about, right, Milo? Sometimes, those kinds of things simply can't be helped. Of course, why didn't I think of that? You were always mine to begin with. I should have just taken you earlier. To somewhere no one else can find you. You nearly laughed at the results that you had produced. You couldn't wait until he broke. It'd taken you a while to track him down properly, but there he was in your line of sight. You walked up to him quietly. Ryan. You flinched at your voice and started back away. What do you want from me? We're done. Done, you hear me? I've already set transfers to another college, so... Aw, Ryan, what are you so afraid of? That Milo might come after you? His face was full of nothing but rage towards you. You were the one that forced me to bully him, to do all those things. What are you talking about, Ryan? I never said that. Or at least, you have no proof? Seriously, Casper, haven't you done enough already? All this training for Milo. Blaming me for sending all those goons after you, even though you were the ones who did it to yourself. What kind of insane person would do that? Forcing me to drug you, then making me drink that with Milo there? Seriously, what's wrong with you? Just leave me alone. I did everything that you asked, alright? He smiled slightly and he snapped at you. All of this is your fault. Why these people died, why I'm still in this situation. I wish you'd just die. Leave me alone. Please don't make yourself into such a saint. Weren't you the one that wanted to prank all those people, even though you knew it was dangerous? And who was the one who shifted the blame to others so you wouldn't be jailed? Don't you think it's the least you can do after you cheated on me? Come on, just admit it. You were the one that resigned yourself to this punishment. You have no one to blame but yourself. You refused to break up with me. I didn't want to be with you anymore, He's hyperventilating from distress. It was a joy to watch him struggle. Just like when you were together with him, it was so entertaining watching him flounder about. Watching him cry, watching him beg. Forcing him to go through such lengths to get rid of you. When you got bored of him, you tricked him into cheating with someone. He was never your perfect love in the first place. Never would have been. The only hope for failures like that is to crush them into dust. Fine, you win. He stops for a second, not believing what he heard. What? You're right. You did what I asked you. And I promised I would let you go. His eyes tell that he doesn't believe you. Ha, he knows you far too well. Well, after this one thing. I knew there was a catch. You pull out a USB and Ryan's eyes widen with fear. Is that... It is the last piece of evidence that proves that you were the one that killed those people. It would be a shame if it went into the wrong hands. Ryan lunged at you, desperately trying to grab the USB from your hands, but you dodged him. Ah, that's the spirit. Give it to me! Give it to me! I will. Pry it from my hands. Fight me if you have to. Take it from me, and it's all yours. Without another word, Ryan tackled you to the ground. He tried to swipe at the USB over and over again. You struggled to move with his weight on you. He took the USB with ease. Finally! Finally! Something loomed over Ryan as he laughed. You could feel Ryan shudder as he felt a presence behind him. The air was heavy and thick, as if every breath were seeped in poison. Milo's eyes weren't one of a human's anymore, as if it were something far more sinister. Ryan opened his mouth as if to come up with some excuse, but before he could say anything, Milo pulled out his not his back, that's weird. He pulled his back, and without another word swung it towards his legs, and the sounds of his bone splintering filled the air. There was a blood-curdling scream as he grabbed his leg in agony. The sound of howling pain echoed in the air. Ah, how unfortunate for you. You noticed out of the corner of your eye a shadow of people coming to see the commotion. We have to go, Milo. They're going to find us. Milo turned to shaking Ryan, grabbing his collar. If you tell anyone about this, your skull will be the next baseball for me to hit. Throwing him onto the ground, you and Milo made your escape. After escaping from the scene, you felt Milo's gaze burning through you. Ah, I think we're far enough away. You grabbed at Milo's arm, but he only stared at you unmovingly. Why were you talking to him, my pet? Ah, it was nothing important. At least not any to... Do you like him? It was a simple question that made you stand on end. The way you were looking at him, watching him. That's what it was, wasn't it? He growled viciously, as if imagining tearing his head off. It doesn't matter. You belong to me now. You will never go back to him. I'll make sure of it. The blue in his eyes left you speechless, as if frozen by his words. And yet somehow, you felt happy beyond belief. Just as he'd said, Ryan seemed to have transferred schools. However, it didn't seem like Milo had let go of his anger towards him, and towards you. Yet still, he took care of you, and he was always by your side. It was strange, you thought, when he suddenly took up cooking again. How he would often mutter to himself as you did your projects and you watched him cook. You'd hoped that he would be planning something exciting for you. And so he did, one seemingly normal afternoon. He gave you some cookies that he had baked earlier that day. I hope you like it. I like the little growl. I hope you like it. He looked at you tentatively as you ate them without a thought. You should have been more careful. It felt hard to breathe when you woke up. Coughing and sputtering, you were bound to a chair as the ropes rubbed against you. You felt pain and soreness everywhere, as if someone knocked you and kicked you as you slept. Though it was dark, your eyes were slowly adjusting, as you saw two eyes looking back at you. My pet. You managed to say. You felt oddly dazed and tried to get closer to him. But you couldn't feel your legs. Sunlight came through the sides of the building and you could finally see his face. His eyes blue and cold, but his face slashed in blood. Did he break our kneecaps? I hope you had a nice sleep. His voice was surprisingly gentle, but had a hint of stiffness to it, as if his voice hadn't spoken for a while. I really wanted to do it more gently, but as it turns out, I still messed up on cutting your tendon. So I just took the whole thing. Oh, we don't have any legs anymore. His smile wide and unnerving as he seemed so happy about what he had just done. I'm not as good as Ryan. I know I never will be, but that's okay. You'll always be mine now. You can't run anymore. It took you a while to realize what he meant. Ah, of course. The red that was slathered on his face, the choice of words. He looked down. You couldn't touch the floor anymore. Your legs were gone. What was left of them was sewn up as if a doll. Your legs were gone. You started to breathe heavily. Everything felt as if it were crashing. No, don't move. You're going to... And then you start laughing. So happy, so brilliantly happy. Milo looked surprised, not knowing what to say. Beautiful! Beautiful! You've done well, Milo! You couldn't stop laughing. You couldn't stop smiling. And the never-ending echo of pure happiness, of full insanity. This is just what I wanted, Milo. Finally, finally, you've truly done it. You're perfect. The laughter, the final end goal fulfilled. No, you couldn't have been happier. Insanity, disgust maybe, others might say. But you couldn't care less. To you, this was, without a doubt, your perfect love. A kidnapper's love ending. Nice. Where's this one fall? So that's like the easiest, maybe? Let's do one more. Since we'll try to follow the same route. And like, just, instead of drugs, I think I want to try stalking this time. See what that changes. Girlfriend. That's fine. Batting cages. Do-do-do-do-do-do. He doesn't look... he looks like a little toothpick, okay? He doesn't look like he's capable of beating up all these gang members, but, you know. I'm surprised he can do so much damage when he's, like, never really, like, worked out. Like, sure, we taught him how to hit people with a bat, but I mean, like, come on, that lady was freaking ripped, okay? Would be to stalk him. I feel like that's more of, like, a predator sort of move. If you catch us too easily, stalking is the way to go. Stalking him? I understand, like finding the best time to ambush. That's right, my pet. Stalking has so many different applications, how useful. Wouldn't it be fun to have a stakeout together? Together? He fidgets with his hands in nervous happiness. How cute. Even with his more violent nature, he still maintained his romantic side. You walk around your dorm trying to look for what you might need for this endeavor. You think carefully about what you would need to stalk Ryan. Cameras, dark clothing. Well, we used to date, so I know his schedules. It should be easy. I see him tense up at this new information. What? Oh yeah, did we actually tell him that in the other timeline that we just did? Because I feel like we did that in the first route we ever did, but I feel like we didn't tell Milo in the second one. I don't know. A mix of fear and jealousy clouds his eyes. What a cute reaction. My pet, are you jealous? Afraid he might take me away from you? I would never let you escape me. Put that away. I don't like it. You're mine, you know? Also, I think he has 2 sets of eyes. It's just a jest, my pet, as if I would ever go back to him. We were just toying with each other anyways. Him more than me. It was all lies anyway, just something to kill time. But it was obvious that Milo wouldn't let this go so easily. Why don't we focus on watching over Ryan first? Or would you rather stalk me instead? You said it as if it were a joke, but you watched Milo's eyes widen. Cute. But we have to be a bit more hidden, so I got these. You pulled out some matching hats that you'd gotten. I think you would look good in them. This is... Do you not like my gift, Milo? He hugged it close to his chest, almost in a childish manner. No, this is mine now. Aw, how cute. He fidgets awkwardly, seeming a bit flustered that he had been complimented. From wolf to puppy, it was very like him. He put it on afterwards. Oh, he is adorable with that little beanie. How does it look? How handsome. He looks away, not sure what to say. Well then, let's get back to work. It's the least he deserves for what he's pulled. For a while we followed Ryan around, secretly and with gentle steps. Enough that he would never know it was us. But obvious enough to know that someone was watching him. At first it wasn't anything, harmless in fact. We watched him but never did anything to him. But Milo got impatient. At first it was just acts of violence, breaking his windows, trashing his dorm. A little bit out of control, you thought. Next was the letters, sending him threat after threat. Cutting out words and letters, promising to tear his head and his legs. Pictures of his friends, promising to gut them alive. He had almost felt bad for him, the way Milo tore into him. At some point he couldn't leave his dorm room for a bit. Afraid that someone out there would kill him if he had stepped out. You could tell Milo was amused about this. Whatever sense of guilt he had was gone. After all, to him, Ryan deserved this more than anything. He had tried to hurt you, and it was a threat to his everything. It was enough to almost make you laugh. It became harder to meet Ryan in person to work on your project. Is something wrong, Ryan? I haven't seen you in class. At least it doesn't seem like you've been slacking on our project. This is too much. It's Milo, isn't it? Please tell him to stop. I know what he did was wrong, but I don't want to live like this anymore. All these threats, he's breaking into my dorm. I'm not sure he would even listen to me anymore. He seems hell-bent on getting revenge. But this is what you wanted, right? Please just make it stop. You ponder a bit, contemplating on shortening Ryan's suffering. Milo's been too rough lately. As much as I'd hate to admit it, I do need you to finish this project with me. So I'll convince him. You have my word. You can see his shaking stop, the relief in his eyes bringing back life. Really? Of course. Let's do well in this project together. It wasn't just Ryan that Milo watched. You had noticed that he could never tear his eyes off of you either. He almost scared you the first time you saw him standing outside your dorm in the middle of the night. That's terrifying. His eyes are super weird. His eyes never wavering, watching, observing. At some point he had disappeared and started to come inside your dorm at night. It was almost clumsy the way he tried to get into your dorm. You could hear him walk into your house, the footsteps soft but noticeable. He'd even knocked over something like an awkward puppy. Every night he came in and watched you sleep. He held your hand sometimes, even climbed in bed to sleep next to you. Sometimes he would simply chant your name like a mantra. Yeah. Casper, 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 Casper. An obsessive dog worshipping his master as he slept. Some nights he would simply sit there, watching you. His eyes hungry, as if he wanted to eat you alive. Soon after, you noticed that some of your clothes would go missing for days on end, only for them to be returned to you a couple days later. But there were some that you could never get back. Ew. How strange, I can't seem to find one of my sweaters. Too bad, too. I had that one for a long time. Milo would tense up a little bit every time you'd mention something missing. It might just be lost forever. Sometimes it gets eaten in the laundry machine or something, right? A sweater eaten by a laundry machine? How silly. But it made you happy that his mind was enraptured, so enraptured by you. You were certain. He was about to become your perfect love. It took a while to convince Milo to cease his actions. Even when he promised to do so, you would see him go behind your back to continue. I see, Milo. You do want me to fail, then. You want me to move school so that we're forced to separate. Is that what you're telling me? You think you could leave so easily? I'd simply break your legs and keep you somewhere where no one could find you. How romantic. Couldn't you just hold on a little bit longer, my pet? Then after... You lean towards his ear. You can cut my Achilles tendon and take me as you want. How romantic! The idea left him breathless. He was smiling. Just keep him alive for me, alright? Just enough to finish this project. Alright, I'll do it. I can't wait until you're completely mine. There's no going back now. And so with that, Ryan was safe. For now. And you. You were his well-guarded treasure. Milo stopped his threats for now, but his frequency of breaking in would increase. That's so weird. Always contemplating if he should take you right now. As you slept peacefully. He always held your hand near his face. Sometimes you wondered if he was contemplating chopping it off, keeping it for himself. Not that you minded that. So desperate for your touch to drink up every second of being with you. You wanted more. More. And so, for a while, nothing else out of the blue went on. It was always just you and Milo. And so he continued to come into your house, trying silently, watching you as you slept. Yet you could hear his breathing. He watched over you night after night. You could tell he really wanted to take you somewhere far away. To perhaps a basement or an attic. Somewhere where you could never be found. But he was too unsure, too indecisive to do so. Despite what he had changed into, he was still your dog. He needed to be trained on what to do. Just one final push. He was walking with you across campus as usual, looking around, fidgeting a bit. Is there something on your mind, Milo? Milo stops for a moment and hesitates. You really changed me for the better. Before I was such a weakling, pushed around constantly. But now... No one will dare do such a thing. He holds your hand tenderly, and now I'm happier than ever. It's all thanks to you. He leans his head against your shoulder. Alright, we already saw this. I'm gonna skip. Ah, this is new. I should have taken you while you were sleeping. Broken your legs and your arms. Making it so that you can't leave me. Milo. There's nothing left for me. I only exist for you. Nobody else. Only you. Without you, what's the point of living? Why should I even exist? Milo! Your snap calls in Milo Finch. Okay, we got that. We'll go with protect again. Or, I don't know. Yeah, let's do it. We'll see what happens. Maybe I can save here? Just in case if this leads to the same result. No matter what, the world will always find a way to take us apart. Cruel, isn't it? And then the solution is simple. Just make sure I can't be taken away. Make it so I'm yours. And just like that, Milo's eyes had changed. Alright, we got that. How could I ever take my eyes off of you? Even during the darkest times. You nearly laughed at the results that you had produced. You couldn't wait until he broke. It had taken you a while to track him down properly, but there he was, in your line of sight. You walked up to him quietly. Ryan. He flinched at your voice and started to back away. What do you want from me? We're done. Done, you hear me? I've already sent transfers to another college, so... Oh, Ryan, what are you so afraid of? That Milo might come after you? Got that. Then he breaks into my house and threatens me with letters and bricks. I can barely leave my door without fearing for my life. Just leave me alone. I did everything you asked, okay? He smiled slightly and he snapped at you. All of this is your fault. Why those people died while I'm in this situation, we got that. Alright, and yeah, this was when he gets to USB. It seemed that while Ryan pinned you down, you had ended up bruising something on your body. You let out a loud pain noise as you stood up. Ryan didn't seem to notice at all as he held the USB in his hand. And he didn't notice Milo coming up to him, hovering and staring. He nearly squealed as Milo grabbed his wrist and broke his arm with ease. Ouch! Ryan let out a pained gasp and he instinctively dropped the USB, which Milo crushed under his foot. Perhaps I should break your other arm too. Or maybe snap your neck instead? My pet. Upon hearing you call out to him, he immediately dropped Ryan and came by your side. Casper, are you okay? What happened? Are you alright? What happened? Did he hurt you? Growling, he stood up and tried to look for Ryan, but he was nowhere to be seen. That coward. I'm gonna twist his neck and... Milo tried to chase after him, but you grabbed his arm. Milo, please don't go. His rage turned to worry as he held you. I should have been there. I should have protected you from him. I should have... It's okay, my pet. What I need right now isn't a guard dog, but someone who'll care for me. Milo was stunned for a second and nodded. He lifts you up gently and carries you back to your dorm. While he walks, he's silent, looking at you over and over and over again. His eyes were cold, but his resolve was steady. What was he thinking, you wondered? For a while, Milo took care of you. He stayed in your dorm, cooked for you, cleaned for you. He never left your side as you lay there in bed. At night, he would watch over you as well, his cold eyes staring at you. He would always be muttering something in guilt. How could I let my girlfriend get hurt like that? This world is far too dangerous for her. She won't survive. Then how could I live without them? My pet, I won't fail you again. Casper, Casper, Casper. It wasn't long until you had gotten better, and you could sit upright again without any pain. Ah, you're really such a wonderful house husband, my pet. I'm completely back to full health. Yeah. You decided to head out for your next class, but Milo stopped you before you could go to the door. What are you doing, my pet? I won't let you go out there anymore. Strange. Didn't I say I was full? I won't fail again, my pet. I swear on my life. So I thought about it. He drags a bat from behind his back and walks towards you slowly. Oh boy. What's the best way to protect you? To make sure you can never be hurt again? I thought about it again and again. And I can't. There's no way to protect you. He looms over you as you back away from him instinctively. So I've come to a compromise. I'll take care of you. Forever. Even if it means I have to hurt you to do so. Before you could turn around, Milo swung his bat at your legs. You could feel your bones snap as he did, and you screamed, falling to the floor. I'm sorry, my pet. He hit you again. And again. And you could feel your bones shattering as you coughed up blood. I don't want to hurt you, but there's no other way. For a second he stopped. You heaved heavily, finally forcing air into your lungs as your body ached in pain. You were able to look up at Milo as he stared down at you, tears in his eyes. I'm sorry, my pet. Closed his eyes and it was dark. Oh, we're alive. From then on, you never left your dorm. Not as if you could have anyways. You were always in bed and often hurt to move. Milo would cry out next to you, apologizing over and over again for what he did. He took care of you, all your needs, anything you wanted, he would get for you. And when you got better again... Ouch. He would break you while crying again. A vicious cycle, over and over and over again. He held your hands as he sobbed loudly. I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry. Even if you hate me, I can't. You lifted your hand. Milo flinched as if expecting you would hit him. But instead you caressed his face, and after shock he kissed your hand. You're doing wonderfully, Milo. I couldn't have asked for a better boyfriend. Even if it hurt to move, you were content. The shape that you had molded him into. How wondrous. It was exactly the perfect love that you had always wanted. And that's all you wanted. A perfect house husband. And cool. Oh, so that one's down there. Interesting. He has yet to understand true violence. I wonder what that one... how you get that one. Oh, maybe if we, like, don't hit protect. That's probably it. Interesting. That's very cool. So that's all for this one. I wonder, like, if you keep getting the same bones broken over and over again, will they just, like, stop healing eventually? Or, like... or will your body always... I mean, I'm sure your body wants you to be alive, so I'm sure it would try to heal, but, like, how many times can you break a bone before it stops healing? I wonder, you know? Like, I've gotta feel like after the third time or so that he probably did that, we probably... even if we healed, I don't think we probably would have been able to get out of that bed anymore. I mean, I'm assuming you... at some point you get paralyzed, right? But anyway, that's all for this one, so I think we'll probably see if we can get all the other endings in the next episode. We'll see how that goes. I mean, it's a good thing that we have the skip thing, so now we can, like, get through them a bit faster, but yeah. So far this is really cool though. I think, I feel like I like Milo the social manipulator a bit better, because I don't know, I feel like that's always a bit more interesting. It's easy to solve things with violence, it's harder to convince everyone that you're not crazy, but still be crazy on the inside, I think. But that's all for this one, so let me know what you think of the game down in the comments below, and I will see you in the next one. This is Casper Kuma, over and out.